everyone, welcome to this week's live. Oh my goodness, big things have happened in the last week.
Oh wow, it's a
We
grill.
did an AMA after the big announcement last week, so we've been caught up on a lot of this stuff already, but this will be our last AMA before Pixel TGE. Guys, like, I can't even explain how big this is, like crazy. Anyway, so yeah, if you have any questions, throw them in the YouTube live chat directly. Let's keep it farmer friendly in here as always. If you're in game, go to the theater. We have some popcorn flying in everywhere for some energy. And yeah, let's bring up Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everybody, yeah, new setup today, very HD compared to normal. So excited to be here with all of you guys. Here, let me just switch out my microphone to the built-in.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I just feel like you're not as loud as the video was. So
Yeah. How is this? How is this? Is this better?
no,
No.
it's fine. People can hear you. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll talk a bit louder. We're doing this live today, so yeah, new setup today. New streaming setup, very HD. Appreciate you guys being here. And yeah, it's gonna be an exciting AMA. So we have a couple of in-game updates that we'll be talking about today. Maybe Heidi, you can talk about the stuff that we're doing around.
Yeah, make them louder.
If you guys haven't been following Pixels, we do a bunch of stuff like this. We love hosting events. We love engaging with the community.
Hope you guys can hear
some
them.
of you will be pretty excited about the new resources you'll be able to get just for how long is this running?
You know, we were debating. I think we're going to do it till the end of February because why not? Why not? It's the month of love, right? Okay, so if you guys have been around for an entire year, you may remember the first energy party we ever had was wait, hold on. It was hearts flying everywhere. And that's why energy is hearts flying everywhere. And you know what? I kind of think today in the theater, we should have hearts flying everywhere. Right?
Let's go, give me hearts.
You know what that means, guys? That means so much more energy than usual because hearts give way
Oh
more
my
energy than
God.
popcorn does. All right, we've swapped it out in the theater in game right now. You guys are gonna get so much more energy. So yeah, so that's why energy comes in the form of hearts. So that's a little Pixels history for you guys. Keep that in mind. Maybe that'll be a trivia question at some point. It won't be in the next like week or so, but anyways, remember that's a good trivia question. So what we've done is we have thrown in a new mini game as part of the daily when pixel task. So Margaret got all excited, jumped ahead of the game, and has already posted today's new task. You still have like 1 hour basically to complete yesterday's if you haven't yet. But Margaret has gone ahead and posted the new one already. So you can find a little hint at it on Twitter. Margaret does have Twitter. She's figuring it out, guys. She might be a grandma, but she's a cool grandma. Okay, so she's figuring it out. And yeah, so basically we've got Heartbeat Hoedown, which is very similar to Mushroom Mash, and you can go and smash all your heartbeats, and however many you finish within the allotted time, you'll get those in heartbeat seeds. There are also love grubs placed around town, which will eventually help you craft some heartbeat wine. So there's lots of fun stuff happening for Valentine's Day. As Luke mentioned, we love to celebrate holidays. So on top of that, of course, it's Lunar New Year, or it was on the 10th. And then I know
that's the Chinese New Year, yeah?
For the whole week. So we are as well. Every daily task, we are giving away a Lunar New Year themed Pixels pet, which is a dragon, which is the ones you guys have seen around town. They are so damn cute. I am so jealous
we get them
of every single person
for free.
Who has won. So I literally just posted
Wait, everybody?
a whole bunch of winners. And yes, it does take me a few days to get the winners together because it's a lot of data to go through. So thank you for your patience on that. But I just posted a whole bunch of new winners for the previous several days in Discord. So you can go take a look at that in the giveaway channel.
Nice. I'm seeing a lot of really good questions popping up in the chat here. So we'll answer a bunch of questions too. Basically how this AMA is.
Let's see what they say.
We'll kind of go over some housekeeping. We'll go over some of the key points that we're trying to make at Pixels 2. We've made a lot of changes over the last week or so, right? Like some really, really big changes. So what we're going to do is kind of explain to you guys what we're thinking. And I think a lot of people are starting to understand the vision that we have for the game in the long run now. And I think first, before we even get into any of that, what we need to start to talk about is the mission of Pixels. What are all of you guys a part of right now? What are you guys participating in? Like, what is Pixels and why are we all here? So, Pixels, I like to call it our love letter to Web3. I absolutely love Web3 and the communities behind it, the intention behind it, the ethos, the thought process behind
This
Web3.
is a wallet, yeah?
Especially, I really appreciate all the work that people who have been building a Web3 before us have put in before us. Now, Pixels, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build on top of all the things we've seen in Web3 before, and we want to make Web3 even better. So I completely believe that
Wait, no, I thought the wallet
will
was
not just
called
transform
Web3,
gaming,
but they're
but most of the interactions that you
talking
guys
about something
have with
else.
your day-to-day applications in general. You're already seeing a lot of these trends in Web3 pop up in Web2. Like, for
Web3 is like
example,
a
we talk
concept
about
for the new
earnings inside of
internet.
Pixels, and we're not really afraid to talk about it because we think that this is a new paradigm shift when it comes to consumer applications in general. If you guys ever follow TikTok or YouTube, you guys know that it's actually a very normal thing for platforms in Web2 like YouTube or TikTok to actually pay people in their ecosystem. It's not something that's frowned upon in Web2 space. And I think Web3 has been a little bit scarred before, where that conversation actually was taboo to have for a little bit, right? But really, what we believe Web3 is it's a new method of consumer applications where instead of a company taking all the profits and taking all of the value being created in the ecosystem, which really, you guys as players are the ones who are creating value inside of this ecosystem. It's a way for us to redistribute value created back to the community in a way that's even more efficient than Web2 companies. So this has a lot of factors when it comes to the way that you interact with games, the way that you spend your time, the way that Web3 games will grow compared to Web2 games. It's essentially a much more efficient market. And these are the core issues that we're pretty much dedicated to tackling at Pixels. There's so much exciting stuff to uncover here as you guys come on this journey with us for the next.
It's like a
year.
huge rock to
And
me,
I kinda wanna
bro.
go into basically the ethos here. So
I'm just kidding.
one thing that we care about at Pixels is basically transforming gaming. That is our core mission statement. We want to bring in Web3 concepts. We want to make them normal, and we want to be innovating on the Web3 concepts in gaming. We truly believe that Web3 will change gaming forever, and it's really exciting
It is
for
the
us to get
future.
to be on the forefront of this innovation.
But it's a long way
here at
to go.
Pixels, we've done some pretty crazy stuff over the last week. Some of it's controversial, right? But the key thing that we want to do here is
I mean, you can play games like this.
better.
It's easy.
We want to make it sustainable. And we want Web3 gaming in our game and our ecosystem to last for the long
But like a
run,
GTA
right?
6 kind of
What
deal?
we intend to do here at Pixels
It's a few more years.
to have the same impact that Zynga did in gaming on Web2 sides, on the Web2 side of things in Web3. We think that there's a massive potential here
Zynga.
to transform the gaming landscape in general, to set new meta for all game studios, not just Web3 game studios, and to create the next generation of casual gaming. It's a huge
Zynga with
mission,
a Y.
it's a huge undertaking. But
Zynga.
I wouldn't want to spend my time. I could be doing so many other things.
They specialize in browser
doing
games.
anything else. So this is the commitment that we're making here at Pixels. We want to change
Browser games for Facebook, MySpace. Is MySpace still a thing? Wait, MySpace.com.
Figure them out, and we want to make it sustainable. It's a huge mission. It's crazy, and some of the changes that we made
Oh
over
my
the last
God.
week are our first steps into doing that. So
Yo,
one of the biggest things
MySpace
we
is
did was
alive?
we sunset the berry token, right? We talked about this a little bit in the last AMA, but this is all in line with our mission to making Web3 gaming sustainable. Berry had some issues with it. It was
Oh, that's cool.
extremely inflationary, and it was in a situation where if we didn't make some changes to it, we would basically be going down the same route as
I thought
most
MySpace
other
was
Web3
cool back then.
experiments or projects that had come before
It was
us.
the only thing where you were like
Berry was inflating at something
able to
crazy like
customize.
50% a day. And if you do the math, that's about like 90% a month. It was in a situation
In a
where
really cool
we didn't
way.
have it under control, and we didn't
Actually.
really put like all of our resources into this one soft currency Berry. It would have
Kind of
ran
ahead
away
of
from
its
us, and It
time.
would have been in a situation where we were unable to control it. Luckily, with the release of this Pixel token,
Facebook
we
killed
had a
it.
really interesting opportunity to basically change things for the better and to have it be more
It was easier to
sustainable.
connect
So,
with people.
essentially, now that we've sunset Berry, we can put all the team's time, energy, and focus into just one currency. And the changes that we made in terms of the gameplay also tie into this as well. You'll notice now that there's two in-game currencies. There's coins and there's pixel. And it
Mhm.
can be a little confusing at first because coins, like, it's starting to make more sense to our users, I think, as you guys start to play the game and see what's going on with it. But coins are essentially an off-chain currency They're a very soft currency. They're very inflationary, and that's totally okay. We'll be dealing with some of the inflation issues around coins a little bit as we start to tweak things. But if you guys are really concerned about the inflation of coins, I wouldn't be
She's
so
scratching her
concerned about it. Let's talk
face.
about why. Essentially,
He's
because we have the
choking a
pixel
little
token
bit.
as the main reward system
Oh,
inside of the game, we can basically anchor most of the value
when
of
talking
coins
about the
to
inflation.
the pixel token. So really, your main focus in the game,
Psychology,
if you're
guys.
coming in for earnings or
101.
for any of those other things that you might be interested in the pixel token for, is just direct your gameplay focus towards the pixel token. Essentially, how you can view coins is coins will help you earn the pixel token. You're going to need them if you've been enjoying
Inflation
the
is a
task where
major
you can kind
deal,
of
and
see
they
why.
just
And coins will also help
put
you
it
progress
under
through the
a
game
rug right
and do
now.
all this interesting stuff.
Uh
But
oh.
the pixel token is going to be like the main source of like your time, energy, and focus, and that's how the gameplay is going to be oriented around. So
Just
if
do a
you'll
halving,
notice in
dude.
your task board, you get
Like a
pixel
Bitcoin
tasks,
halving.
right? And you might see that some of the coins tasks don't really pay out in the way that you might want. You'll see if you try to actually buy some of the
What do you mean
rewards
tasks?
off the
Like
task board
quests?
on the marketplace price of coins actually might be more than the task board distributes. And I know it seems a little weird at first, but it actually makes a lot of sense, right? It's because these resources that you're gathering in the game are
Oh,
actually
sorry
not
guys,
easy to
I'm
get, right?
tired
If
as
you guys
fuck.
have seen our changes to softwood is extremely difficult to get now that we've made changes where basically anybody can chop down a tree and trees only grow globally. So basically, if one person chops down a tree, that's one less tree in the economy. Kind of a crazy change, but what that means is that trees, softwood, hardwood, sap, all much more difficult to get, and they have a market price on the marketplace because of that, where it's a bit higher than the trade-in value of the task board. Again, it's a little weird to think about that, but what that means is if you are able to accumulate softwood, you actually have more coins, which will be able to help you get some of these resources that actually turn in for pixel. So really, you have to think about it like that. Your task board tasks are there to help you earn pixel when you think about it. And the interesting changes that we made to all these systems means through this task board, the main way that we've been distributing the pixel token is we have a much greater control over how the pixel token is being distributed. So unlike Berry, unlike coins, there's actually a max amount of pixel that is distributed amongst the game on any single day. We know exactly how much pixel is coming into the in-game economy, and we can control it pretty tightly. So what this means is we have like a pretty tight control over earnings,
That
and
doesn't
we
sound
expect
decentralized.
new pixel coming into the economy every single day. Essentially, this paints a great picture of sustainable earnings inside of our game. So one thing that we're not afraid to talk about is earnings inside of the game, because we actually think that is a really key part of Web3 gaming. It's interesting because we've seen it go in different directions before, right? When you talk about earnings in the Web3 game, it's a double-edged sword, right? You don't want earnings to get out of control. You don't want things to get inflated when it comes to expectations. But with this new system, what we're actually kind of working on doing is what we call targeted earnings. This is a key concept that we'll be innovating a lot on over the next 6 to 12 months. And it's some of the core tech that we're building that we intend to use as we further out the ecosystem. So in terms of a long-term play inside of Pixels and what we're doing here, what we intend to establish is one, building out Pixels, the game that you guys see right now, to its fullest expression. Transparently, I think there's like 2 to 3 years of development just on this one game that we have left in order to actually see it
Wow.
fully through. But if you follow other game studios, typically what they don't
What?
do is they don't just build one game. They typically have other games coming out afterwards. How we kind of view this is, we're going to be learning so many lessons as we build out Pixels, and we're going to be learning and building out really interesting technology when it comes to the distribution of earnings based on different player personas, profiles, all of this side of things. And as we start to learn this, building out more games inside of our ecosystem will become much easier for us because we'll basically have a technical advantage against any other newcomer in the ecosystem who hasn't had the time to basically iterate, tweak, and build out all of these systems. So the vision for Pixels is big, right? It's more than just this one game. Eventually, it's essentially a game-changing ecosystem when it comes to being against Web2 games. And we are really appreciative of our community because we get to basically build this with all of you, and we get to do this quickly and iterate in a way that other game studios might not be able to. it's our competitive advantage having you guys in our community and being able to test with so many people. It's amazing, and we're so appreciative of our community for that. So as we continue to build out, the plan and the ecosystem potentially gets bigger as well, and we'll be onboarding more and more people in the Web3 gaming, and that's kind of the thesis. If you guys have been looking at the Pixels Foundation, the Pixels Foundation is the issuer of the token, and they've set a thesis of basically bringing Web3 gaming to as many people as possible, and we're here to help that thesis. Essentially, we want to grow Web3 gaming not just to 100,000 DAU that we have, 150,000 DAU, but like millions and millions and millions. If you look at other game studios that have come into the scene, and I'm talking about just like gaming in general, I'm talking about like Zynga 10 years ago. They achieved like millions of DAU in their first game, and they scaled it to the next level, like tens of millions, hundreds of millions of DAU. And that's the goal. That's what we're here for. We want to build an insane ecosystem that touches the world, basically. So crazy vision here. Like that's basically what we're working for. The key points are
it's gonna be rough because it's not innovative.
Web3 gameplay
in a grand
that
scheme.
Gameplay rather than sits on top of it. And that's the kind of stuff that we're looking for over the next little bit too. We want to build out game features that were only possible.
Oh, look at the skin!
We want to
wow, what a cutie!
Really experiment and iterate on what those features are, enhance
what a cutie!
And then dig into all this kind of stuff too. So there's so much stuff that we'll be figuring out and tweaking over the next little bit. If you guys have noticed, we've been tweaking the task board basically every single day to see if we can nail this down even better. And even just over the last like 3 to 4 days since we've released the task board. When did we release the task board? On Friday with Pixel?
Yeah. Same thing. That wasn't Friday though. Wednesday?
I think we introduced Pixel rewards on the task
Oh,
board.
Pixel rewards on Friday. Yes, yeah.
On Friday. So it's been 4 days. Let's note that. It's been 4 days since Pixel has been introduced into the task board. Every single day it's been improving, and it's only going to get better and better. So here's how we kind of view how the task board will work in the long run, right? Right now, we basically have one pool of tokens that we're distributing to all users. Eventually, what we're going to be doing is breaking up task board earnings and the amount of pixel that each person in the task board is going to be seeing by user persona. So the first 4 personas that we're going to be setting out are the free-to-play users, the landowners, and the VIP members. VIP, we'll dig into that. It's going to be a really interesting new system. It effectively will kind of act like soft staking.
I pay to win?
There. But essentially, we'll start to tweak the amount of earnings by these personas. So transparently, in the very first like couple of weeks, as we introduce and like start to tweak out this task board even more, the intention behind systems like this is VIP owners will actually have more earnings in the task board than people who don't have VIP. If you dig into the economics of that, it's almost like you can kind of think about VIP if you're used to Web3, almost like micro staking. You put a little bit of pixel in front in order to unlock VIP, and then your earnings increase from the VIP purchase that you made, for however long that you purchased it. 3, 6,
yeah, you're not losing the money.
I love this
really,
model.
so it's cool, but you have to have the money in the first place. Like, that's the thing.
Locking up tokens or having some kind of lock like this is almost as equally effective in terms of the end goal of growing the ecosystem as burning tokens in certain cases too. So we'll be experimenting with some stuff like that. But how this is going to work in the long run too is we'll get even more granular when it comes to earnings by persona in that free to play bucket. So we have a couple of systems already that are going to plug into this kind of well. Like for example, the reputation system. If you have a higher reputation, if you have higher levels, if you completed more tasks, eventually we're going to actually be giving you more earnings rather than a fresh player who's never played before. What this helps in is this helps in cyber attackers, botters, things like that. We can essentially, instead of stopping withdrawals, we can just attack the source. We want to basically be giving out the pixel token to the users who like the game most, who progress through the game most, and then there's
play the game most
things that we'll start doing with it as well too. There are so many different player types in Pixels that benefit the ecosystem, and it's really important as we grow the game and further progress through this tech that we're building out that we even more efficiently distribute the Pixel token. So even in that free to play bucket, or even inside that reputation bucket,
I mean, you have
we'll
to
most
be a real
likely be looking
gamer
at is the different
to be
personas
doing
inside
this
of
and
it. So
enjoying
it's
it,
things
and
like, people who are, trading a lot in the marketplace. Like that is a useful persona
ain't nobody
inside
got
of the
time
game
for this,
because they
dude.
help provide liquidity in our in-game marketplace.
You know what I mean?
Players who gather a lot of resources, players who engage
Like,
in the growth
what is your
structures more,
return?
players who end up bringing on
Okay,
more
it's a
users
game where you
inside of
can
the
make money
land.
while
Like all
playing.
these different things are
It's not
things
gonna
we'll
be
be looking
much.
at as we start to target the earnings more. So basically, if
I'm
you
hyper skeptic,
want the
but that's the
most
position that is
simple
most
explanation,
healthiest.
if you are a more loyal player inside of Pixels, your earnings will likely be higher inside of our game. And you'll be able to basically progress through the
If you
game
can get to like a
and
point where you just have
unlock
to
more
play 10
opportunities to
minutes a
earn the
game,
pixel
okay,
token. And how this all works too
I
is like
guess.
we have a pool.
Depends on the
We know
return.
exactly how much pixel token is coming into the
I've seen people
ecosystem.
completing
You can see
quests
the amount of pixel token that we're able to
where
distribute
like a
every
month
single month through
ago
this ecosystem rewards pool. So essentially, all these tokens inside of the game are going back to our users.
they would get
And our
a certain
goal
amount
and
of
our
pixels,
job here at
which was
Pixels
worth
is to basically figure out
around
like, the
30
best
USDT for one quest.
allocation of these
So
ecosystem
the
rewards
inflation
that
is
will help make the ecosystem the most in the long run.
times 5
And
by
yeah,
now,
things
so
start
like this
becoming really
same quest
interesting
gives you like
the
6
titles behind
USD
us, but
now.
that's like the 3 to 5 year plan
USDT.
as we get there. Main focus in the short run is all around this current game, this ecosystem, and really ironing this out. It's gonna be a ton of
Yeah,
experimentation.
the only way
and
to
that's,
fix
part of
it,
what
I
you're
guess,
signing up
is
for when you
halving
join
or
Pixels,
I don't know.
right? We're gonna be tweaking things a lot. We'll be iterating things a lot. Basically things will be changing every single week. And I know it's sometimes chaotic. I know it's sometimes intense.
Okay, so we're basically the beta
The Discord has
testers.
been absolutely insane the last couple of days, but you guys are learning these systems more and more. So it's also kind of like learning how we're changing things, understanding, why we're making these changes, all of this side of things too. So yeah, we're really appreciative of all you guys like being here with us, sticking with us. And yeah, we'll dig into some of this more too. So some other housekeeping too, and we'll answer some questions. We'll probably spend a lot of the AMA just, asking you guys what you want to know, and then we'll dig into this. I'm sure there'll be some interesting tangents, but we have a few other announcements and some housekeeping too. So listing on Binance, it's going to happen on February 19th at 10 UTC. For us, that's like 2 a.m. PST on February 19th. The team will be there to support everything around there. It's gonna be a long, long day for us, but we'll be pretty high spirits. But what that's going to look like is essentially withdrawal of the Pixel token into your wallet will not open until 30 minutes before listing on Binance. That is a very important note. And yeah, keep that time in mind.
30
There's also
minutes.
something to note too, where it might take a little bit of time for you to fully withdraw the token as well. Our system can only process so many transactions at once. We're doing our best to scale that, but just note if you're in line, it might take up to an hour or two in order to fully withdraw the token. Please don't come for our heads. That's just how it has to go. So we'll be there with you guys. If there's a little tiny wait after the listing time, give us some breathing room, please. Be nice. It's gonna be a crazy day. It's gonna be such a blur. That's just how we have to do things. So note that. There might be some other things too that we do, like we might if we see like very, very long lines to withdraw, what we might do is we might do some kind of like reputation prioritization. So maybe we'll do something like high reputation, can withdraw earliest, and we might like basically scale down the reputation.
That's definitely what's gonna happen.
So maybe like people with 4,000 reputation get the first 15 minutes to like go
For
in.
sure, dude, for sure.
Then we drop it down to 3,000, 2,000, 1,000.
There is no maybe. He's basically saying how it's gonna be.
So note that too. We'll get more details on what that looks like as we're getting closer to the time. But yeah, that's some housekeeping that you should know. So yeah, we'll talk about all of that. We're really excited about what this is going to look like, and basically the listing date. It's funny because I'm getting people congratulating me on this listing, but it's funny because we have not won. Like I think people think that we won crypto by this, and it is so far from the truth. I just need to reemphasize some of the key points here. The team allocation, it's locked up for 1 year, and then we have 3 years of linear emissions. I am making no money um, at the time of the listing, right? The team incentives are aligned in the long run. Same thing with investors. Same thing with most advisors. All the lockups are 1 year. and then 3 years of linear emissions. The important part was we wanted all of these stakeholders to have long-term alignment with the ecosystem. So do note that. If anything, like takes a little bit of time during the like withdrawal system, we're not trying to screw you over. This is what we have to do to make everything work. And just note the team is not profiting from any of this. The team actually is making no revenue from the Pixel token. You know, we're basically just living off of funds raised for the next little bit. Like I wanted to basically align all the team's interest around the long term to make sure that community is protected. And that's the biggest thing for us. So do note all of that. So yeah, we're super excited about the next stages. And I think now is kind of maybe the time to start answering some questions. So I know there's a ton. And we'll probably go on a bunch of tangents with that. I'll probably post some more long form tweets over the next couple of days too, basically describing all these new systems that we have in place. Like for me, I think one of the most fun ones that I probably am going to ask you guys to amplify when I have this tweeted out is things around the earnings, because I think it's probably the most interesting stuff that we're doing. And oh, yeah, we'll probably note some other things too. I
That's
talked about
all we
earnings a
wanna
lot
know,
because I know it's like
bro.
what a lot of people are interested in. There's some interesting systems that we're implementing too, where it's like we, in the long run, essentially want to match earnings with burnings. So the key focus on us too, as we're thinking about sustainable growth, is also making sure that there's adequate demand for Pixel token when it's out too. And when I say demand, I mean utility. Like, are there actually things that you can do with the Pixel token when it's out? What is it used for in game? All that kind of stuff. So I think maybe before we dive into questions, like going over that, what's the Pixel token do? Why do you want it? What's its use inside of the game? So one thing that we have launching at launch is you'll be able to purchase VIP in the Pixel token at launch. If you guys have been looking, we actually make the VIP data public, and the VIP has actually been like a pretty significant source of revenue for the equity company Pixels Labs, basically over the last little bit. Now, this is actually a really big change that I don't think you guys fully understand. We're allowing the purchase of VIP now in the Pixel token, which is actually us kind of saying, hey, we're going to be taking a break from the revenue that we're making from this, and we're really just focused on Pixel token utility because it's one of the most obvious things we can add for Pixel token utility. Some other things we'll be adding too is we'll be adding in a new pets mint, and we'll be announcing what that looks like soon. So pets will be able to mean we'll be doing a pets mint in the Pixel token pretty shortly after the token launch. Very excited about that. So more people have access to some pets.
I wanna
If
see
you're a
what the
Genesis
NFT
pet
thing
holder,
does.
don't worry. Basically, how these pets will work, it's going to be our first experimentation with adding new pets inside of the game, be our first big mint in the Pixel token. We're going to be limiting the mint slightly. And also note on these new pets, they won't be Genesis pets. They'll have different stats than previous pets. It'll be a different type of pet. They'll look kind of like dogs, doggos.
I'd love the pets to do like Digimon stuff and you can fight them.
And yeah, we'll have some more stuff around that too. So
Or let them
new
fight
pets
each other.
coming. If you see and are following the pets, like they actually do provide some interesting utility right now as people are guarding their trees. They extend your reach, they give you storage, all this fun stuff. So we're excited to introduce that. And then guilds will be coming shortly after TGE as well, or after the listing date. And guilds is the feature I'm most excited about. If you haven't been following, guilds is basically a new feature that we're introducing. If you were following SocialFi Summer, it's essentially our combination of like all these other Web3 primitives that we were watching. So it's a combination of guilds, it's a combination of SocialFi, basically Friend Tech or Stars Arena, and our games. So it's like Web3 gaming meets guilds meets SocialFi, all in one feature. And you'll be able to join guilds using the Pixel token. And these guilds will actually become a much more important part of gameplay, as you're already maybe seeing as we've introduced changes to trees, where trees are much more limited.
Yeah.
Changes to other industries are coming too. So the guilds, their kind of key purpose is to help you guys.
Didn't see a single tree on 100 plots
around the resources on top of your land and around the resource distribution from land. What we expect to see guilds kind of forming around land, or at least guilds wanting to help like work with landowners to get their resources. And the whole point of like the game loops that we're introducing is we want to.
I was on a dashboard trying to join a guild. I could not make it. I don't know why.
How you earn the Pixel token, right?
Was it lag or whatever? But anything I clicked did not work.
Basically, the resources that you earn in land will help you earn the Pixel token.
You could just like view who was in the guild.
Land to get some access to these more rare resources, and you'll need the Pixel token to join a guild. So there's some really interesting gameplay loops there. We're super excited about them. We think it's like a pretty good narrative as we move into the token launch. And you'll also see some
The
other
new
stuff too, like
world
quality of life
guild
improvements
system
with
was
the Pixel
quite
token.
nice,
We have some fun stuff that'll be coming.
where you can contribute with your
Eventually we'll start to do things
resources
like buying extra bookmarks in the Pixel token.
and unlock
We have some
stuff
other, like,
for your
fun
guild
things
and
like
yourself.
teleports coming with the Pixel token. A lot of cool stuff.
This kind of
So-
That
stuff
was
should be
sweet.
standard, right? And I think could be easily
yeah. So
implemented.
there's gonna be a lot of fun stuff with the Pixel token. Be on the lookout for it. And essentially that's gonna be like half the game too. So I talk about earnings. I know that's what you guys care about a lot too, but the economics are the most important thing too. So when I think about earnings, just know on the back end, I'm always thinking about how do we match earnings with actual token utility too, because that's the most necessary thing for a long-term and sustainable ecosystem. So yeah, a couple notes there. And with that, maybe we start not leaking into questions, but like starting to answer some questions.
Now we're gonna get like leak requests like crazy. Okay, yeah. So a little pause. If you have a question to ask, throw them in the YouTube live chat. Keep it farmer friendly. One thing before we dive into questions that I did just want to address is we are being targeted like crazy right now with people trying to hack everyone. Okay. Even just yesterday, there was someone impersonating me on Discord and they were sounding kind of like me. And so a lot of people were falling for it. I will not DM you. Luke will not DM you. No one on the community team will. If you see something like that, anyways, please be diligent. Okay. With this TGE coming
hate
up,
the hackers,
it's
scammers.
insane how many people are
Die in fire.
targeting us, right? So please be careful. There's nothing worse than seeing one of you guys be drained or whatever else happens. So please be careful and pay close attention to how we're doing things. As you guys know, like the play to airdrop claim happened directly through the Pixels dashboard. It was like a really easy, smooth process. So yeah, please be cautious and take care of yourselves. And after all of that, let's hop into some questions you guys have been asking. Tons of good ones. So let me see here. I think we actually answered a ton of these questions already, but let me look here. Oh, I just pulled this aside. Love this update. We love it too, and we're glad that you guys are on board with it because we know like people hate change. People don't like change, right? But there's like reason for it, right? So we've been spending this last week and we'll continue to do so to like tell you guys why we're implementing these changes, and it's all for the success of everyone here, right? So love that you enjoy it. Ross is here for the community. Love that. Me too, honestly, right? Love it. So okay, so technically in Canada, Monday is a holiday. It's called Family Day. And there's another Canadian in Discord that was like, how dare they do this on Family Day? I'm like, Pixels is my family, guys. The holiday should be renamed, Pixel Day. Come on, Pixel TGE. It'll be great. So, oh yeah, another fun one. I get this question all the time. So you guys really like the intro music on our AMAs, which I'm so glad. I've recently looked into
It's
getting
cute.
some more and I couldn't find any that matched the vibe. The music I'm using is literally from the YouTube studio audio
Like a
library.
free-to-play thingy, yeah.
And
Sounds
after
like
the
it.
AMAs, you can go back and watch these videos. And
DMCA
in the description,
free.
it shows exactly what the song is. So you might need to create a like YouTube account and format it for posting to be able to access the library. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're great songs. I love them too. So I'm glad you guys like them. Okay, let's dive into some hard pixels questions. Okay. When can I upgrade my spec? Okay, so this is coming with chapter 2. We've talked about this a lot. I'm really excited. I was actually just playing around filming some content for the upcoming release of spec upgrades. So I think it's going to be really, really cool. I don't have an exact date to give you quite yet, but chapter 2 has just kind of been trickling out. As you've noticed, these big changes we say are in preparation for chapter 2, but they are chapter 2 features, like straight up. So for an official launch date of chapter 2, I'm not sure because we're kind of already trickling it out, guys, and the pixel token is going to enable a lot of things there too. So when will this exact feature come out? Not sure. Soon, which you guys love to hear, I know, but I promise it's soon and it's going to be really cool. Okay.
Oh, I clicked on it by accident.
I was like, oh, fishing. When fishing?
Yeah, it's funny. No, I think fishing's coming at some point. Yeah, we have something in like staging environments. It'll just be like a tiny industry, but yeah,
It's
people
cute.
really like it. It's cute.
It's really cute.
Yeah, so that it's funny. If you're new to pixels, I have been so adamant against fishing since day one because I like Stardew Valley. That's like where we got a lot of the inspiration from the original game in. But I
Yeah,
hate fishing in Stardew Valley. I hate it so much. So I was anti-fishing for a little bit, but I know people want it.
haven't checked
So
out this
yeah,
game
we've been working
in
on
a
like some
long
small
time,
stuff
dude.
with that basically.
When did it come out? Yeah, like 2016.
Okay, so someone posted this. Oh no, there would be no way to track it. Sorry, they're saying, is there a chance for people that did the Barney task every single day? And I assume they're like they didn't win anything. I would love to do this, but I don't think there'd be an easy way to track it just because we've been doing so many different types of giveaways, like between Twitter and Pixels in game. So I don't think it's possible. Because I know we did that when we did trivia like a year ago. But anyways, good luck. Good luck. Keep doing them.
Yeah. So people are asking, will the pixel token be on Rona and Katana? Yeah. So your withdrawals will be on the Ronin chain. And basically all pixel rewards will be distributed on Ronin. Yeah, Katana will be available. Yeah, pixels should show up in your wallet. All that stuff is getting ready basically. And there will be a bridge to ETH if you want to as well. Bridge your pixel to ETH or from ETH into the game as well. So yeah, do note that. It's the Ronin bridge. And then also, yeah, if you have pixel on ETH, you'll be able to still deposit it directly into Pixels without bridging as well. So if you were to get Pixel on an exchange on ETH, then you can deposit it in the Pixels game in the same way that you would on Ronin. But all rewards in Pixels will be distributed on the Ronin chain.
On the Ronin, okay.
Okay, so then this is a really good follow-up question. When will the berry token be removed from Katana? So I have the exact date. So it is February 17th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's February 18th, 11 a.m. Philippine time. I don't have a UTC value for you right now. 7 p.m. Pacific on February 17th. It has been published in Ronin. By Ronin. I will throw an article in chat here so you guys can take a look if you want further information on that.
Yep. And if you miss that date for whatever reason, you're not screwed. We'll keep the berry to
Do I have to
pixel
make an
chain
account
open
on
for a long
Pancake?
time. So yeah, if you have a friend that like forgot about their berry,
Pancakes.
you'll still be able to exchange it for pixel at that ratio. But do note the ratio will be dropping by 10% every 72 hours. So it's advantageous if you deposit it sooner. Basically, that rate will be changing again in just about 24 hours. So note that the rate goes down 10% again. So it'll keep going down 10% forever, basically. So it's advantageous if you're holding berry to exchange it, as soon as you can. But if you forget about it, or if you had some berry in the wallet, you'll still be able to deposit it into Pixels and receive the Pixel token inside of your in-game balance forever. Basically, we'll keep it open for a long, long time. So don't worry too much about that. But yeah, do note that.
Oh,
Okay,
let's
when
spend some energy
Genkai
quick.
avatars. Okay, so I don't know how much we've leaked about this, but they're not only are we releasing Genkai avatars,
Cool.
we're going to be doing a little thing with them on top of that. So it's a little bit bigger than just avatars. So soon. I don't have an exact date for you once again, just because we've been juggling like all of these different TGE related releases and chapter 2, but there's something coming. So stay tuned for that. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, I think somebody kind of guessed what we were doing the other day on Twitter, and I had
Really?
yeah.
I love when you guys do that. No, you know what I love? When you guys guess something that is so completely different and maybe wrong or whatever, but we love it. And we're like, wait, maybe we should do this instead. Those are my favorite instances. Okay. Some more questions here. Let's see. I feel like we've
This is a good one. What is your plan if the pixel token comes to a point that no more pixel rewards are able to be distributed because there's a max supply and people hold or didn't sell the token? Yeah, so this is exactly why we have the community treasury coming. So basically, if you spend pixel inside of the game, um, if you look in the white paper, you'll see there's a split. So 80% of the spent pixel inside of the game goes to a community treasury that the community will own. 5 or 20% for the first year goes back into the ecosystem reward. So essentially, like if you spend pixel inside of the game, some of it will get like redistributed to users by us. But then 80% of it for the first year, talking like 12 months after TGE, will go to a community treasury. That treasury is locked, and essentially will open up governance in 12 months. So the community will get to decide how those tokens are used. And it's kind of a way for the community to keep the Pixels team accountable. If the community doesn't think that the Pixels team is distributing the tokens in the way that it should, then they might decide a couple different things. One of the things that we're still deciding on how the governance should work is basically like what options are given to the community. I prefer simpler governance, but I kind of see like three options basically in this community treasury when we talk about governance. I see one, the ability to remove these tokens from circulating supply if the community chooses to, basically burning the tokens. Two, an option would be to give the Pixels team the tokens to redistribute back to players if the community decides to vote for that. Or three, the other option would be sending the tokens to maybe a different team who can distribute these tokens to. So if we build out an ecosystem of this Pixel token, and players in the community want to give out tokens to a different game studio, start distributing these tokens, that'll be an option as well. But yeah, basically it's going to be up to you guys to decide how these tokens getting used inside of the game are going to be used in the long run. That's kind of the point behind this governance.
Okay. Let's see here. Can non-VIP withdraw pixel? Yeah,
Yes.
so your claim from play to airdrop, you will not need VIP to withdraw. Okay, yeah, we get this question a lot. So can coins convert to pixel? Okay, so coins are our brand new in-game currency that enable all gameplay, right? So you will need them to participate in tasks that reward pixel. So it's not like you can just like convert directly, but you are direct, like you have to use in-game coins to be able to participate in gameplay, to farm. Maybe you need
It's a
to
yes
buy
or no
something on the
question.
marketplace. Maybe you need to trade with someone else in game, and that's all going to require the use of coins, which will enable you to complete those tasks that reward you then in pixel.
It's no, guys. You can't.
Okay.
It's okay. She can just say no.
Oh, someone said this, and I was like, wait a minute. Let me call our artist. Sloth Pets. I think our artist would be super down for this, so I might need to let them know. That would be really, really fun.
Sure. I got a question. So sorry for question. Don't apologize. That's why we're here.
Please ask.
Can we increase our small lands, and can we host any event in our lands? I don't mean Genesis lands, the lands that we bought with Barry. Yeah, so there's changes coming, and basically what we're going to be introducing is spec progression. So you will be able to make your specs bigger and start to add more stuff on them. So your spec will become a bit more important than it was before to your gameplay experience. And actually, there might even be like a tier of spec that you might find other players want to come onto as well. Then what you can think about with land is like the next tier of specs after that. So land is kind of the end game progression when it comes to land progression, the NFT land that we've minted. And this ties in really interestingly with resources. So right now, what you guys see in the game are like some of the resources inside of the game. We're adding a lot more resources. And as we start to like tweak this task board, the higher tier resources will be worth more pixel. If like that makes sense to you, right?
Of
So
course.
it's not going to be easy to get some of these resources, and some of these rare resources will only be available on the NFT.
You can explain everything with level.
In this new tier of land, when we start to introduce what we call contestable land. And contestable land is how we're gonna like make the guild.
You can explain and justify.
Essentially, we kind of see guilds competing for like the final tier of land, where they'll need to like work together. It'll probably be very like coin and like resource intensive to gain access to these final tiers. But these final tiers of land will have the most valuable resources that will be able to be turned in for the most pixel, basically. So there's really interesting earning loops with that. But it's going to make so much more sense when we have more of these resource tiers out. And that's going to create some really interesting need for, one, to work on your own spec, upgrade it, progress it, and two, to also find, landowners who are willing to like work with a guild, or work one with other users as well. Or if you're a landowner who doesn't want to work with anybody, then you're going to get all these rare resources to yourself. You can hoard them, turn them in for Pixel if you want as well.
I know, I was thinking I have a few lands, and I'm like, maybe I should just close one, and that's like my haven, and then the other ones can be, guild related. I don't know. We'll see. And then someone said, how do I send people to my specs? So there's two different ways you can get to people's specs. The first one is through the Infinite Portal. You just need to know the username of the player that you're trying to get to. So if I wanted to go to Luke's spec, it would be pixel_Luke. Mine would be Lemonhead, and it should show up in a little list there, and you can go through the Infinite Portal. Another way is if you're standing next to them in game, if I just clicked on Luke's avatar, it says visit, click on the visit button, and it'll take me straight to his spec.
Lemonhead, lol, check it out.
Oh yeah, okay, someone said sloth pets make you walk slower. That's funny. I don't know how popular they would be then, but I like the idea. So we've got to brainstorm.
Wait, where am I?
this,
I'm
okay?
stuck.
I love that. Walk slower, but like 20% more
Oh,
slow.
here it is.
Oh, wait. Okay. Yes. We need to chat. We'll figure this out. Oh yeah, and someone asked if we have drawn the random 1,000 players from the Play to Airdrop season 2 that didn't reach the
1K? I thought it was 700.
Yes, we have. So go to your dashboard. I guess at this point, if you qualified, your claim will be there. And if you didn't, it won't be, unfortunately.
Oh, you needed to get 3K points, I
but let's just
see.
reiterate, can we pay for VIP with Pixel? Yes. Yes. Day one utility, you will be able to buy the VIP, Pixel's VIP pass with Pixel token.
That's cool.
All right.
So free to play can get quite far. You don't have to invest a single
pick ones you wanted to speak.
Real dollar, basically.
A lot of questions about like airdrop allocation, like where all the airdrop allocation went. So yeah, we went over the splits in the last chat that we had. Some of the airdrop allocation was used to convert Berry into Pixel, again with the intention of, we really needed to do this to create a long-term sustainable ecosystem. I know
so this was right before the coin came out, yeah?
But
all right.
Yeah, if you're looking at things, I think you'll have felt like it's worth it. So yeah, appreciate the understanding with all of that. I will say there's going to be another tiny surprise, and that's all I can say right now. So yeah, there is a tiny bit left, and we'll surprise some people with that.
Oh my god, I'm excited. I don't know. I actually don't know what you're talking about. So I mean, I have ideas, but I need to know like which one is right. Oh my gosh, that's exciting. Okay. Pet giraffes. I know you guys. I know you love the giraffe. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, here's a good question. Can we have more inventory slots? So that's probably something that will be Pixel utility, right? Like that's the kind of stuff that we think about when we think about Pixel utility. It's like all
and make it smaller.
Life improvements.
Make the UI smaller.
We'll add them, but you gotta pay some Pixel. So there's some fun stuff with that.
I just really like the attitude of this. Leaky Luke, thanks. Like okay.
Here, let's see what else. So many questions. Good stuff.
So many questions, yeah. Okay.
Lands moving to Mavis pets. So yeah, we announced a while ago. We will open up an optional bridge from ETH to Ronin for land. And that I think is technically working now. We just need like a little bit of time to actually make sure that the land NFTs on Ronin work in game the same way. So yeah, we'll have an announcement around that, and then maybe
just ask in chat. Let's see if they come across my question.
We'll talk. Okay. Okay. So basically the billboard winner worked with our design team and settled on the billboard that is now next to the theater in Terra Villa, and it says 1-800-WHEN-LEAK. Don't call that number, guys. I don't, like, Okay.
Someone had a really good question about like the relation to, oh, here. Yeah, this is a good and fair question. So can you talk about the future relation of Ron token and pixels, since people will not use Ron to buy VIP anymore? So yeah, one thing that I want to make abundantly clear is we are only here right now because of Ronin, the ecosystem, and the players, and the advice and the guidance that we've gotten from the Ronin ecosystem. We will not and do not forget that. And yeah, we'll be thinking about stuff like this, right? This is extremely important for us to make sure that one, we show appreciation and recognition to like the Ronin ecosystem, the Sky Mavis team, and basically all the stakeholders that have been a part of that that have helped us got to this stage. It's not forgotten, and we're thinking about that quite often. There's going to be some interesting stuff with that, and we're going to be working on this kind of stuff more and more. What we want to do now is we want to help see the Ronin ecosystem grow more too, because it's great that we get to be on the forefront of helping the Ronin ecosystem grow, but we'll also grow more if the Ronin ecosystem grows beyond us as well too. So as new games come on, as other stakeholders in the ecosystem come on too, we want to make sure that we're doing what seems fair and what seems like will help that ecosystem grow as much as possible. I am so all in on Ronin. I love the Ronin team, the thought process behind it. I'm so excited for the next games that will be coming on it too. There will be some great synergies that will happen there. Yeah, what I can say is we think about this quite often, and we're pretty committed to making sure that this is like a fair long-term relationship.
Okay. 72-hour withdrawal implement on pixel token.
No, there likely would be some time limit. It might be like 15 minutes to 30 minutes. We just want to make sure that everything is nice, safe, secure. We've been doing transparently on the back end, doing a lot of pen testing. We've been getting like double audits done on everything. We want to make sure that the release of the Pixel token is safe, secure. There's no issues with that. So we might have like a slight cooldown just so we have like a bit of leeway in case there's a bug or a glitch. We feel actually pretty good about the tech. We just have done like a ton of
There's
pen
a
testing in the last
glitch
week or
people are
two,
talking about. I want to know
make sure that
what it
there's no
is.
major exploits there. Getting like nice, tight, and clean about that. The whole team has been briefed basically daily on security practices. Everybody is trying to hack us right now. No surprise. We need to be abundantly cautious around all this side of things. So there might be a small cooldown on withdrawals just so that we can make sure that everything looks good on our end. What you don't want is like maybe we missed a bug and then there's some attacker that's able to withdraw a billion pixel tokens. That's like 15 to 30-minute cooldown allows us to stop that from happening on chain, basically, right? So
Oh,
you
that's
guys want
smart.
some of these precautions for that reason. That being said, I'm feeling pretty confident about where we're at with everything right now when it comes to security. Massive issue. We know
That's
the stakes
good.
that
Good for them.
all this stuff brings. We know the amount of, we know what's at stake, basically.
Yeah, so we said this earlier. When can we withdraw pixels? So it will open 30 minutes before the Binance listing, TGE, all of that. And keep in mind there might be a little bit of a wait time, like Luke was saying, for all of the reasons he just said, right? So just safety is our utmost concern, right?
30 UTC.
9:30 for withdrawal UTC. Yeah, exactly. Okay, you guys are literally spamming chat with this, so I will bring it up. Will carnival tickets be able to use again someday? Yes, they will. But it'll be a little bit. We're focusing heavily on chapter 2. So yeah.
Yeah, there's some like easier things we might be able to do in the short run too. Like
Mhm.
I don't hate the idea of doing like a couple pets a day in the carnival, like a special carnival pet, things like that. That's easy for us to do moving forward too. It's fun, right? To like get a little bit of like things there. And I know you guys have been saving that.
Yo,
So
I want the
yeah, we
balloon
want
ride
to
to
respect
reset
that too.
once,
Just like give us a little
please.
bit of time because this team is dying right now. This team has been working so insanely hard to get everything out for token to make sure that it's safe and secure, that we have all the due diligence needed around it. This is a really big deal, right? And the stakes are quite high. So yeah, even like transparently, we wanted to get guilds out right at TGE. I think it's going to get delayed like a week or so. I think like 8 or 9 days.
You got a
Just so we can
chicken in
have
here.
all the focus around security with this token generation event. We know the stakes are high. We want to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Yeah, so we'll be slowly releasing more and more stuff over, and that's also the fun part too. we get content out a lot. There'll be so much content that we have a backlog of as um, you know, the tokens out. Like expect some pretty consistent updates after TG. I know like the last couple of months we haven't been releasing as many updates. If you followed the project for a while, you know that our pace was crazy at one point, and I think we're going to get close to that pace again because we've been preparing so much stuff.
Okay. I really enjoyed this. Why red snakes? Okay, so those are called love grubs, which is a lot cuter than red snake. They're not snakes, they're love grubs, guys. Okay. And they're a part of our Valentine's Day release. And you will need them to craft Heartbeat wine, which will come out soon.
Okay, I pulled this one up by accident, but I still we're bringing it up. John Deere, please
I was
work.
going to say, why is it John Deere?
John Deere, I think there's a potential great partnership between us and you. We are the number one farming game in the world right now, and we could give you guys so much brand exposure if you worked
Yeah.
with us. We could promote any model tractor that you guys want. We can even have like some specific tools. Like maybe we could give out some of your like pitchforks or your garden hose in our carnival giveaways. John Deere, work with us. Maybe tweet at them also, people. We think we need to get their attention again.
You
If you
heard them,
guys want
John
to
Deere.
help
Let's
push this
go.
cause, what you can do
Yo, what
is
is
you
this
can
portal? What the
maybe
fuck?
write a tweet to John Deere telling them why a partnership with Pixels would be so great.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. So we have like 1 minute left here. Is there anything else that we wanted to talk about?
Um, yeah, maybe we can stay on like another 5. Do you have a hard
No,
stop?
I'm good.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think it's important to
There's a
like.
lot. Yeah.
What is this?
When's the next major game
Ooh.
update? So yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a major game update basically every week where it's gonna change the way that you play the game a good amount every single week. So I'm expecting chaos for the next 2 months as we start to continue to introduce these changes. That's a part of what you're signing up for, right? Basically, a lot of these updates will change how you play the game drastically every single time. And we have a bunch of these updates prepared and lined up. Now we're kind of just in like the QA phases for a bunch of them, or like final balance phases as well. When we release some of these updates, they might not be perfectly balanced either. Please trust us. We'll get the balance right as we go on. We just prefer releasing things quickly and often to test them and get the best feedback from them. So yeah, expect a lot of major updates.
Okay, wait. I just got a little leak. Heartbeat wine is live. So you guys can go craft it in any of the wineries.
Good luck.
Okay.
Will skill levels influence earning in Pixel? So yeah, that's what we were trying to get at. Where in the long run,
They
what
have
we want
to.
to do with the Pixel token is we want to give it to the users who like the game the most. So how do we figure out who likes the game the most?
The one who's
It's
most level.
people who progress through the game the most, right? It's
Yeah.
people who have higher skill levels and not just the farming skill level, but more varied skill levels, right? So things like the reputation system play into this indirectly, right? Like we can see who does what quest, things like that. And we can start to increase earnings for people who have high reputation, but we'll start to narrow that down even more specifically as we go on. So, I can't tell you for a given player, like how many pixel token you're going to earn, because it's going to be kind of variable per player, right? Depending on, what you're doing inside of the game, it might affect your earnings. So keep that in mind.
Okay, someone said that the sloth could just require fewer treats because it's slower. I kind of like that. And interesting. I'm still stuck on this.
What about the new exploration skill? Great question. So, yeah, we've talked a little bit about this new gameplay system, exploration. It ties in with caverns and the dungeons and the guilds, essentially. But this is going to be a really interesting new gameplay mechanic that we're introducing inside of Pixels. And it's gonna kind of close the loop in the short term. So, as you guys have seen, we have made Pixels competitive without direct PvP. You can see it with these changes to trees, right? Pixels is different now than it was a week ago, where it is actually competitive to get resources and access to resources. And exploration is going to feed on top of that even more. Exploration is this new game mechanic that we're building out, where essentially we're introducing this concept of a final tier of land, contestable land. There won't be very many of them, like very, very few. And essentially, you'll have to go through the exploration skill in order to find these contestable lands. These contestable lands will be fought over by guilds, or maybe even just like, you know, one rich player might even be able to have influence, or like a whale, you know. But the intention is we want to make it very hard to get access to these contestable lands. But these contestable lands, we want to make worth it through the resources that they provide. The resources they provide will be the rarest resources in the game, but then also the ones that we'll be able to turn in for the pixel the most too. So there's some interesting gameplay that we'll unlock there. We really want like the pro social competitive gameplay there. And it's gonna be a really fun mechanic too. So chapter 2, the release dates. Technically, we're already in chapter 2 now. We started releasing the first changes of chapter 2 last week. The task board and these changes to crafting, trees, all of that. Chapter 2, we're going to start to slowly release out more and more changes over the course of the next 2 months. And chapter 2 will kind of end in this new exploration skill. When we have this exploration skill fully out and developed, like I'm going to call that the end of chapter 2. And then we'll start rolling out what we call chapter 3, which will be more of a focus on PvP systems, combat, all of that related around pets.
PvP. Oh, I like that. Battlemon.
Okay, so many people have been asking this question over and over again. Yes, Pixel will be live on Katana on February 19th. All right.
Any more good questions you see? So many.
What will happen to unclaimed play to airdrop?
Yeah, I mean it stays in like the ecosystem pool basically. Like we're essentially just accounting for that unclaimed play to airdrop to be claimed like we need to. There is a limited supply of pixels, so we can't just create new pixel out of nowhere. It has to come from the ecosystem funds that are vested basically, right? So we just basically need to account for that as, you know, out in the ecosystem. We can't spend that, we can't use that. Gets really, really messy if we go into that situation. So essentially in game, every single pixel will be one-to-one with an on-chain pixel. Keep that in mind.
Okay, some people in Discord, they're asking if there's going to be a withdrawal fee on Pixel.
So we won't have a withdrawal fee for this play the airdrop, but we might add it later, is what I can say. I'm not going to say no to it because there is an advantage in terms of ecosystem health if we add some friction to taking tokens out, right? Like what we want is we want people to be using tokens in the game in the ideal situation, right? But for this play to airdrop, what we should have just done is giving you less pixel, right? So yeah, don't worry about that here.
Right, people are freaking out because the hearts stopped in the theater. So yeah, we're gonna wrap up soon. The hearts only ever last 1 hour, so it's clearly been over an hour, but we just wanted to stick around and ask some more questions. The hearts give like, what is it? Double the amount or triple the amount or something of energy that the popcorn does. So I think you guys are good. You should be full.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So
that was nice.
But yeah, we just wanted to hang out and ask answer a few more questions.
She's like, chill.
And then, yeah, we answered this earlier. When will the heartbeat event end? I think we're just gonna run it until the end of February. So we've got some time to collect all of those heartbeats.
Okay, sweet. Well, yeah, I think that's kind of wrapping up some of the questions that we can answer in our time here today. We'll probably do some more AMAs. You'll see us doing maybe like an AMA with Binance or something like that soon. Yeah, we're really excited about the next stages, and yeah, appreciate all of you guys being here. Yeah, we're really excited. This is literally just the beginning of what we're doing. We're going to be here for a long, long time still, and we're not going anywhere. So yeah, I feel really lucky. We're well resourced now. We're able to build out all the things that we want to, and this is really when the fun begins for all of us. So yeah, thank you so much for being a part of the community. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll continue to answer questions day in, day out, and yeah, I just want to give another big thank you.
Where's the teleporter thing?
You all. Happy Valentine's Day. Spread the love today. We love you all. Thank you for being here. And with that, go and participate in the When Pixel task of the day is actually through Margaret today. And another really fun thing is we're hosting a concert in Pixels in the theater on Friday morning. It'll be pretty early. I think it's like 5 a.m. our time, but it'll be pretty fun. Sorry?
It's Chief,
I
right?
should put my
Chief
chicken here, huh?
Is that it?
Yeah. So it'll be really good. It'll be really fun. I'm excited. So we'll see you there for your local time zone. As always, check the in-game Pixels calendar or the Discord events. Yes, the TGE date will be added to both of those. And yeah, we'll see you guys around. What I'm trying to think of all the community updates. Oh, okay. So we're going to continue doing our weekly Twitter Spaces. That was supposed to just be like a 6-week thing, but we talked to the Unfungible team and they want to keep working with us, and we're like, we do too. So yeah, those will happen every week as well. So see you guys around everywhere, and happy Valentine's Day. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
No player found. Alright, guys, so that was the Pixels news and Q&A. Lemonhead is Heidi, the grill that was talking. How do I join now? I can't? Already. Nope. What was his name? I forgot. Well, it's GG. Anyways, time to go to bed. Thanks for hanging out, guys. That's it from me too. So we come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Muay Thai on the double end bag. It's gonna be kurz und knackig. Come by, say hi. Join all my socials, guys. I need to get 2 more followers so I can affiliate and stuff. And I shall see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye. Peace.